In a while. Welcome everybody to week 18 of the mentorship program 2023. Bow, bow, bow. We are getting towards the end of this session of mentorship program. Can you believe it? It's just like 4 or 5 more sessions. So yes, we're coming to the end and closer than you think. So let's use the best of it, the best that we can do. And let me share this with you. So today we are going to go through our usual value of the week. We're going to do a Judge Your Neighbor worksheet. We're going to talk about our Human Values Initiative and if we have some time for questions and anything you would like to share. Let me pull up the chat here. Say hello to each other. It's good to see you all. It just came to me to share with you all that I had this experience last week where the pastor of my church asked if I could help with some translating with this person that was coming from Colombia as an asylum seeker. And you can just imagine what the situation is. And so since Chicago is one of the places where they're sending all these people, then there's much need. And I was just able to be witness to his story, and that maybe I shouldn't share this whole story here, but you can imagine how challenging it was. And yeah, it just gave me like some perspective on life and on what we have in our day-to-day, the joy that it is to see our people in a day-to-day basis or by the computer, whoever you're around. And I feel the value of this week goes along with that. And so yes, I'm really appreciative of your presence here, and for those watching the recording, for those that are joining today, happy to see you. So this week we're practicing the universal human value of love through the lens of receiving. Sorry, let me put my phone in silence. And the thought of the week is, I receive the love. Say that and freak out everyone in your house. I receive the love. Boom. So I receive it. You probably heard some of us say this phrase, I receive it. And I love that for this one, we're adding, I receive the love. And I'm going to go here to our newsletter, as I always share with you. There's some great stuff here in the objective. I love this thing that says, be sure this week to open your heart, quiet your mind, and truly bask in all the ways that your community and your inner light are sending gifts your way. In this case, love. I heard something once that was, I think it was Eckhart Tolle, that said, what if we walked through life with feeling that everything, the floor, the things in your house, the people that you encounter, the animals that you encounter, everything is sending you love? Like, how would that be? How would we walk throughout the world? And I tried it one time, like imagining just the floor, the wood floor, like sending me love. And I was like, what is this thing? And it felt great. Like feeling that everything, even the person who honks at you while you're driving back home, is sending you love. It is a radical thing. Like we said last week, we talked about radical. But yeah, what would it be if we think about it that way? So that's the invitation for you. Want to point out here that, let me share again, because I want to really share this video that was included in the value of the week. It's part of, this is, for example, this we included, Victoria, included as the story for this week. And so it can be a video too. It doesn't mean that you have to take out the book and tell the story, which is so nice. But it can be something just like this. Can you hear it?
But you know,
You just
the
give me a thumbs
toughest
up.
thing
Yep.
is to love somebody who has done something mean to you, especially when that somebody has been yourself.
Sorry, let me try this again.
But you know, the toughest thing is to love somebody who has done something mean to you, especially when that somebody has been yourself. Have you ever done anything mean to yourself? Well, it's very important to look inside yourself and find that loving part of you. That's the part that you must take good care of and never be mean to, because that's the part of you that allows you to love your neighbor. And your neighbor is anyone you happen to be with at any time of your life. Respecting and loving your neighbor can give everybody a good feeling.
Y'all, I listened to that in a coffee shop this afternoon and I was like about to cry. Holy moly. Mr. Rogers, for you, I just had the radical idea of what if whatever group you work with, you just show this every week, every day even. And what would that do? Yeah, with the people that we work with and for us. Love Mr. Rogers. I'll leave that there for you. And as we experience that, let's take a moment and stretch your arms in whatever way they need to stretch. And you can start to close your eyes, start blinking your eyes closed. And just put both your hands on top of your heart, kind of like on the left side of your body. Feel the beat of your heart and say, I receive the love. I receive the love. And again, if thoughts are coming in of like, well, what love, or how am I going to receive it? Yada, 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 yada. Our mind loves to keep us safe and really figure out if this is okay. And so we're going to say, thank you, mind. But I know this is good for me and we are safe right now. Take a deep breath in and breathe out. And as we go through this call today, I encourage you to be like an FBI agent, maybe that has some baggage for us. So just a very skilled detective that is looking for evidence of how people are showing them love. So someone raise their hand and share something, I'm receiving love. Someone put something in the chat, I'm receiving love. I see something in the screen, I'm receiving love. So really, if you gotta make like a list of things, of moments of when you're receiving love, let's be the best detective that we can in that mission. Take another deep breath in and a little more air and breathe out. You are here, you made it. You made this space for yourself. I can see the love that you give to yourself by being here. And we receive that. So start blinking your eyes open, stretching around anyway. I know I'm feeling like some energy over here. So, whew. Yes, let's come back to this moment. Okay. So for today, you're invited to read chapters 6 and 7 of Loving What Is. And I wanted to share with you that I had this thought during this week or realization, I would say, that this book, Loving What Is, and what Byron Katie is proposing, I realized that is really what she is sharing is a way to relieve suffering through the process of inquiring on our thoughts. Cool, we got that. And then I realized, and it's not a book of how to behave, a book of conduct. It's not a manual of how to live your life or what to do. And so, yes, I wanted to share with this, y'all, so you can ponder on that and see if that rings true to you. And that, hence the conversation we had last week, I realized that, yeah, what if she's not telling us, what if it's not like she's telling us what to do with whatever situation, but this is how you can have relief of suffering through the power of your thoughts and what that truth that might bring. So I know there's books, for example, that I would like for us to do in mentorship another time, of the nonviolent communication. I believe Teal and Kevin have shared about that. And I feel like that's more, I haven't read this book, but I assume like it would be more a book of like, oh, do this or don't do that, or this might be helpful in communication. And I believe the work is about the action of what to do with your thoughts, like Becca said last time, of what you would do after the fact, right? It's what do you do of the thought of what happened. And yeah, Kevin says, yeah, that feels true. It's not being prescriptive. Yeah, that feels true to me as well. And yeah, let's see how that unfolds for us. So as promised from last time, I would love for all of us to do a worksheet right now together, since I've seen it's helpful to do it first, everyone together, and kind of be guided through it as far as the questions. So The Body Keeps the Score has been on my mind. Yeah, recommended by my pals. Have heard about that one too. Hopefully we can do it. Okay, so this is how we're gonna do it. I encourage you to grab a old piece of paper. How did Jamie say today? Good old agua, good old tree paper. So that you actually write it down. Javier, I'm using some of your scrap paper, so hope that's okay. So yeah, while you're grabbing that, we are going to go through this. I will be saying the questions out loud so that you just focus on the writing of it. And I might ask you in the process for you to share what you're writing. You don't have to say the person, or you can change the name or whatever. So just share the statement so we can see how we can how we're doing. And also if you're like stuck, like I don't know how to write the one about what I need out of this situation, so you can please raise your hand and say that out loud so that we can guide you through it. And choose something that has the most emotional charge right now for you. I was grateful that Victoria this week asked if it has to be specifically with someone in my family, someone close. And so it doesn't have to be someone that you see every day. You could see the person who just cut me in the line as I was driving home. But what has the most emotional charge for you that you are frustrated with, that someone that disappoint you, or someone that anger you? I would choose for now like a specific person. You can after do like a situation, for example, like World War II. But now choose like an actual person that you know or that you had an experience with recently that is bringing the most emotional charge. If there's a worksheet that you did last week, the week before this, and that you still like, I don't know if that really helped me, you can like do it again right now so that you can get more clear on that. So, is everyone ready with their paper? Can you show me a thumbs up? Okay, so in this situation, who angers, confuses, hurts, saddens, or disappoints you, and why? So you would write it. For example, I'm going to choose a situation for myself. I am hurt with the coffee shop person because they were rude to me. So that's an example. So write your statement right now. I am emotion with this person because. Okay. So you got that? Anyone need a little hand with that? Okay. So in this situation, how do you want this person to change? Like, what do you want them to do? What do you think if they just did this, I would be doing great. So I want the coffee shop person to be cordial. I want the coffee shop person to smile at me. And then this one you can write more than one. Like, yeah, what is all that you want them to do? Okay, from those, can I please have someone share with us one of those statements they wrote, even from the first one or the once one? Just so we can hear one from you all.
I can volunteer since my example is literally very recent. I am angry with my because he's an asshole who doesn't give a shit about how he acts like a dick, his words, and expects us to be okay with it.
Need an applause for that because we gotta be very like that in our statements. Yes, thank you, Jamie.
And I whispered it in because the door is a little thin. So
yes. I just heard something with in-law and I was like, oh yeah. Oh yeah.
mm-hmm.
Yes. Okay. Thank you. So next one is our advice. We're so good at giving advice. So let's see. In this situation, what advice would you offer them? They should, for mine, for example, the coffee shop person should be more kind. They should receive me with open arms. They should, yeah, smile a little more. So give your best advice. I know y'all are very good at giving advice. What advice would you give this person? Oh yeah, or shouldn't. Why? What shouldn't they do? Ooh, just feeling a little tense. My energy coming on. Okay. If you need more time with that one, you can keep working on it. I'm gonna mention the next one if you're ready, which is about our needs. So in order for you, not the other person, not anyone else, in order for you to be happy in this situation, what do you need them to think, or what do you need them to say, or what need them to feel or do so that you are happy in the situation? So I need fulanito to find another job because coffee shop might not be your job. Something like that. Sorry, I realized that the example I gave was not really about how I could be happy. But so make sure it's like really what would, if this just happened, like you wouldn't have had a problem with this situation. Like what would you need to happen for you to be happy? So some of these might be repeated, like you're like, well, I just need them to not be an asshole. And then the next one is like, well, I just need them to not be an asshole. I want them to not be an asshole. They shouldn't be an asshole. So they might repeat. So that's okay. And also if you want to go further so that the questions really create that shift for you, let's say, is, for example, I just wrote out what I was thinking so that I could get closer of like, what do I really need? So I said, I need the coffee shop person to be more happy at their job. So I was like, why would I need that, right? So that they can treat me with love. So I need coffee shop person to treat me with love. So you can kind of like journal a little more to see what is it actually that you need or what. Okay. All right. So while everyone finishes that, another courageous friend that can share with us what they have written so far in any of them, but maybe particularly the advice and the needs. Tracy?
Okay, so the advice. He should be more decisive and have better boundaries. He should accept that boundaries make people feel safe. He shouldn't let other people impact his actions so much or entertain unstable partners.
Yes. Can you say the first one again? You muted, Tracy. I don't know if you're saying something, but could you say the...
Oh, shit. Sorry about that.
Okay.
He should be more decisive and have better boundaries.
Great. Yes. Muy bien. Todos muy bien. Yes. As I spend some time with this, I realize that sometimes we can phrase the statements in a way that I know Byron Katie goes into this to like I believe in this in the next chapters that we're going to read for next week of finding evidence for why that is true. So like if a coffee shop person should treat me with kindness, why do I believe that? So because service people should treat people with kindness, because people who work with people should be loving. And so like kind of spell out why you think that is true, like why someone should do that or not do that, not do it. Yes, to then run the questions and those thoughts. Okay, good. Take a deep breath. And you can make a sound when you exhale and freak another person up in your vicinities, even better, like a very weird that'd be great. So we are coming to the end of this worksheet. Complaints. What do you think of them in this situation? Make a list, and it's okay to be petty and judgmental. So just like Jamie modeled for us before, be as judgmental and petty as that person. So this person is arrogant, dishonest, blah, blah, blah. I want to hear your deepest feelings about this person. What do you think of them in this situation? Yeah, so if it's repeating, you can ask a question to that same thing. So if it's like, they should be more kind, like, why should they be more kind? And just see if there's any others underneath that one. Okay, anyone needs some little help from a friend with that one? Or with any of them? Usually we're very clear on what these people are. Okay. When I looked like everyone was like looking at like, okay, I'm ready. We're waiting for you. Okay. Now let's do the last one and then we'll run the questions. So, what is it about this person in this situation that you don't ever want to experience again? So I don't ever want to experience a coffee shop person that is rude to me. I don't ever want to have someone that is serving me not being loving. I don't ever want them to yell at me. I don't ever. Oops. Can you still hear me? Yeah, I pressed something in the mic. I don't ever want them to go against my boundaries. I don't ever want to be treated like this by this person. Write your I don't ever wants. Okay. Anyone, can we have one person either share about their complaints? Ooh, that's a juicy one. What about you share your complaints and then you don't ever want to blah, blah, blah. I'll start so I can jump in the pool first. So this coffee shop person is rude, is not calm, gets upset about at people on the phone, is not patient or open, is letting other people anger her, is weak, is swayed by other people, is not truly happy, doesn't have a regulated nervous system. And I don't ever want a coffee shop person or someone in service to be rude to me or to not be loving to me. Yeah, to talk rude to me. I don't ever want to experience that. Okay, your turn. Tracy.
Okay. He is a people pleaser, too malleable, too focused on keeping everyone happy. He is unclear, distant, and wishy-washy. He is likely polysaturated and should just say that. He is doing more harm than good, not seeing that some people might take him the wrong way if he's not being clear and upfront about what he wants or what is on the table. I don't ever want to feel so vulnerable and confused at the same time. I don't ever want to deal with someone so uncertain and yet so obviously into me. I don't ever want to ask, was this a date again?
Yes. Great work. Amazing. Yes. Clappy, clappy, clap. Good work, y'all. This sometimes feels like getting through a workout. You're like, I know this will be good for me after. Now it's painful to stay in a plank. True story. Okay, so go back to the beginning. We're gonna go to the top. I'm gonna ask you a few questions and you're gonna do this for yourself. So you grab the first statement and we're gonna ask, is this true? Is this true that this person blah, blah, blah? Look at it. Okay, might have had a fast answer. And if not, can we absolutely know that it is true that the coffee person was rude to me? Maybe someone else came after and they're like, oh my God, it's the sweetest person in the world. And I'm like, wait, they were rude to me. Like they could have been rude to me. But can we know with complete certainty that that statement that he wrote is true? Okay. So then, either if you have a certain answer or not, let's look at the next one. So how do you react? What happens? What do you do? What do you say? What do you say to yourself when you have that thought? When I think that the coffee shop person should smile at me, I get upset at them. So I'm getting upset at a person that is upset. So I'm doing the same thing. Right? I'm not being kind in return. I'm upset by them. Next one. And stop me at any time if you need a hand. Who or what would you be without this thought? So just if your brain could have just not think that thought, not that stop thinking it. It's not that. It's if you were just not able to think that thought, who would you be without that thought? So if I wouldn't think that people in service or a coffee shop person should smile at me, then I would just be chill. Like I just go to the coffee shop and be like, okay, here's a coffee shop person. They smiled or not. And then I sit down with my matcha latte and I have fun, you know? So who would you be without that thought? If you're getting stuck on that one, there's another one that you could ask that is like an addendum. Is there a stress-free reason to keep that thought? So let's say I'm really set in that every service person should smile at their clients because I'm paying them to serve these like stuff. So they at least should smile at me. But then is there a stress-free reason for me to keep that thought? No, I don't find one right now. So let's do the turnaround. So grab one of your statements. Mine, for example, coffee shop person should smile at me. If we turn it around, there's a couple turnarounds. Coffee shop person, yes, should smile at me. We can switch it to I should smile at the coffee shop person. So I can take that statement and then check if for you that feels as true or more true than the initial statement of the coffee shop person should smile at me? It might not. Let's try another one. The coffee shop person shouldn't smile at me. Yeah, maybe I didn't pay them to smile, so they shouldn't smile at me. Is it a smile store? No, it's a coffee shop. They gave me my, well, matcha, but right. So keep finding turnarounds that feel the most true to you. For example, I have one here. Some of them when can be a little like, what? I am kind to people. What are you talking about? That I should be kind. I was kind to them. Is it true that you were being kind to them, right? Or is there any other situation where you haven't been kind to someone that you served? Maybe. I have one here that says the coffee shop person should be happy with her job. And if I turn that around, I should be happy with my job. Yeah, that feels true to me, for example. Okay. Am I missing any other possible turnaround? Anyone help me? Oh, I find. Go ahead, Hayat.
I was just gonna ask you to say the phrase one more time.
Oh, yes. Coffee shop person should smile at me.
Did you do I should smile at the coffee shop person?
Yes, I believe that was the first one. If not, yeah, that's one. I should smile at the coffee shop person. Coffee shop person shouldn't smile. Or I should smile to me. Yes, why not?
Yes.
That feels great. Yeah, I want to smile to me. That feels, let's say, truer. And that thought doesn't produce any stress, feels good to me. I'm giving love to myself. I'm not worrying about what the coffee shop person who probably is underpaid. I don't have to worry about them. Yeah. So, can someone please share with all of us one of their turnarounds that they just did? Especially if it feels stingy. Hayat?
Stingy. So I wrote about a student. I had him last year, and he took the class again. And so I was like, all right, we're gonna do it this year. We're gonna try really hard. We're not just going to hide in the back of the room. And so today he got the instrument for the first time, and he kind of like again started hiding in the back of the room, like he doesn't even want to say his name. So I know he's dealing with a lot, but I wrote, I want Steve to show up ready to learn and try his best. And that turned around to, I want me to show up ready to learn and try my best. So for me to just keep trying my best. And then the first one I wrote, I am angry with Steve because he is not trying hard enough to learn. And what I did with the turnaround there is I just zeroed in on that last part. He's not trying hard enough to learn. Is that true? Can I know that's true? He might be trying his hardest right now. And who would I be without that thought? Well, I would just be a loving teacher and just try my best, like in the first one I said. So yeah.
Yes, thank you so much. Another one that I see there, are you trying your best to learn about Steve, right? And about what they need or what they're going through. And this is an invitation to just, if that statement feels true to you, not a shame on like, hey, how yet you haven't spent time learning about your 36 students per class, right? But that could be another thing. Have I done with that person what I'm asking them to do with me? So great, thank you. Very in brand for the first week of school. 39. Yes. Bless your hearts for doing high school. Okay. I think this is a good moment to pause as we are getting to the end of today. So you can do the same thing with all of these statements that you did. I wrote all of these, so because this can take a while, but you can find the one that is the most, no, but they should do that and do the work with that. The one that feels like more intense energy and do the work with that. So please let me know in the chat briefly, what was your experience with this? If you found any statements as true or truer, or if not, and we can meet up this week. I met up with Blanca. I don't know if she's here, but last week she joined just a call with me, and we did one worksheet together, and it was she said it was really helpful. So I'm happy to do that with you. Yes, to just go through it with another person. Definitely found some truer statements. Glad to hear that. And I want to mention just at the end for the last one, I don't ever want to experience this again. We change it first to I am willing to having a coffee shop person being rude to me. I am willing to have this person do this again. And the reason for that is that it might happen again, or that because that might happen again, we're kind of like, well, this might happen, you know, when you're like, this shouldn't happen again, and then it happens, you're like, oh, there's like more stressful energy around it. So what the reality is that it might happen, and that the next one is I look forward to this happening again. I know that I tried this one with my parents as we were in Costa Rica last month, and I think I shared with you all during the call that I was looking forward to my dad looking for discounts or coupons or something, and literally I like finished writing that, and he's like, Andrea, can you help me finally get a discount for Cahoots? And I was like, Dad, just buy it. But in the moment was like, oh, there it is, there he is, because he loves finding discounts. And what my thought of like that he shouldn't find discounts is giving me more stress than what it might be giving him. So that's what we are going through. I hope that the person I wrote about didn't feel their ears burning. I hope they do. I'm looking forward to their ears burning. I know stuff might have come up, and might have some questions. So first, I acknowledge your courage to go through this. I keep repeating what Teal mentioned last time, that this is a radical approach to how we have been doing things, and sometimes it might feel abrasive, I think is the word he used. But we're here to fuck things up. So there we go. Let's go back here so I can remember what I want to share with you. First, take a deep breath in and breathe out. I receive the love that I'm giving myself by doing this process for my health, for my wealth, for my well-being, and for those around me. Eventually, it helps the people around us. So for next week, we are creating a draft for our Human Values Initiative. Yes, it's happening. So I created a template for you. because I love you, and I would have loved someone to create that for me. So I created a template for you to fill out what you need to fill out. So for next week, you create the draft, and you send it to me through email. Can someone put my email in the chat, please? It's just andrea@humanvaluescollective.org. And we will discuss it. I might send some suggestions or edits, things like that. And then for the following week, you're gonna have your finalized version. And then the following week after that, I will communicate this with you, but just to share with you that then so first the draft, then the finalized version, and then is the final presentations. That is what we call it. I just need 2 or 3 people to do it 1 week, to share it 1 week before the final presentation, because it's quite a few of us and we want to give each other each time. So if you're like, oh, I know what my initiative is, I got it, I can share it with, it would be in, not this week, not the final, sorry, I will send you the dates, but to share it like 1 week before everyone is sharing it, that would be great, appreciate it. And I will let you share questions or comments through WhatsApp, or if we have some time, I can stay for a little bit after this call. So for next week, as usual, submit a human value of the week to the form. I added the song as another teaching technique so that you get in the practice of doing that. Send in your draft for your human values initiative. Again, you can contact me throughout this week for any guidance, questions, blah, blah, blah. Read Loving What Is, chapter 8 and 9. And our tasks for these weeks are getting filled up because we're finishing up. But you already know how to do this stuff, so it should be fine. Fill out 2 Judge Your Neighbor worksheets, preferably new ones, or one that you're stuck in, kind of like go more through them, like ask other questions, other statements that can get you closer to something that feels more true. And we have a launch pad. So if you're a staff of the Human Values Collective, you know that we have a launch pad where we put all the links that we need. We put in this launch pad. And Javier Payano, president of the Human Values Collective, told me many times, hey, why don't you create a launch pad for the mentorship program? I was like, but I did it and it worked. And thank you, Javier. So this is just a place. I know that we are very much into our program, but here we go. So it's just a place where all the links are. So the Zoom meeting, the schedule, the Mighty Networks, the form for a value of the week, the recordings. And this is what I mentioned, that I was just creating to put all the recordings in the same place in case you can't get into Mighty Networks. I just put the one for now of last week, but I'll fill it up with all the YouTube links to the recording so that you missed a day, you can just go there quickly. Here is the draft for the Human Values Initiative, and it looks like this. My pleasure. I'm very excited. Can you tell? Your name, the title of your initiative. So, for example, Victoria said something about adult summer camp. So some like just a name like that want to put for your initiative. A brief description of the initiative. Victoria, I'm going to go off of that, even if you're doing it or not. But summer camp, adult summer camp is somewhere for adults to experience the joy of camp and have fun and learn about human values. And then the goal, what are you intending to achieve through this initiative? So I'm intending for people to get to know more about themselves through the work of human values and in community with other people in a fun setting like a camp. So your audience, let's say it's adults from 18 to whatever years old, and they mostly live in the Midwest of the United States. For example, so you can give some, if it's students, you can give age group or like what school you're in, what demographics, things like that. Adult summer camp. period of time that your initiative will run for. So for example, if I'm working with students, I'm going to work with them for the second semester of the year. Or if it's a initiative for yourself, I'm going to do this every week for 7 weeks, something like that. And then here where it says structure, what that means is, I couldn't find a better word, but what that means is like, if it's a project for myself, I know some of you were going to do it with yourself. It's like, okay, I am going to use the Human Values Collective newsletter, and I'm going to do each of the activities every day of the week. So on Monday, I'm going to read the thought of the week. On Tuesday, I'm going to listen to the song, blah, 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 blah. So that's what I'm going to do every week. And then I'm going to journal on Sunday. For example, like, what is it actually that you're going to do, and how will you structure it? And then any materials, resources that you would need, and other notes. And I forgot to write here to do a practice, like a sample practice guide of what that would look like in one of the sessions. For example, if I'm doing the summer camp, the adult summer camp, what would a day, either what would I choose for the teaching techniques? Like, oh, we would sing Eye of the Tiger about power and something, and then we would go into like, you detail the teaching techniques that you've been putting in the form, and then I give maybe a little description of like, oh, the day would go like this, we would journal and then talk about what we felt, and right. So practice guide according to the group, person, client, student, whatever it is that you're doing, or yourself. Yes, I'm gonna share. Thank you, Amelia. This is the link to the Launchpad. So, oh, wait, it's here. My WhatsApp is not available in this computer, but there it is. Yes, what the practice guide would look like in action. I will add more here. Yes, what the practice guide would look like in action. Kind of like how teachers do a lesson plan, but with our teaching techniques. And yeah. Okay. Cool. That's it. Thank you so much. It's 8:31. In the talking about Mr. Rogers, I will say, you've made today an amazing day by just being you. There's no one in the world like you, and I like you just the way you are. Have fun. My personal phrases are: have fun, take care of yourself, and yeah, love others. So peace. Thank you. Text me with any questions, and appreciate your presence here. I can stay for a little bit if you have any other questions. Okay.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you. See you next week.
Okay, so